గుడ్ మార్నింగ్ చిల్డ్రన్. ఈరోజు మనం కోఆర్డినేషన్ అనేటువంటి పాఠం చెప్పుకోవచ్చు. రైట్, coordination. This is a fifth lesson from our 10th class biology textbook. The heading of the lesson is telling us that coordination must be occurs in our body organs. For example, if I want to move from here to there, I use it to move my hands and legs, and my eyes also working when I am doing that work. So here for a little work I am using my eyes and legs and hands. Here these three are working together. So in this way, in our every action, our body parts and body organs have to be coordinate one and each other. You know, in our body there are 13 systems are working. So these 13 systems are working continuously each other. Right, for example, a nervous system and a skeletal system, and then excretory system, digestive system, these all systems are working together. Okay, so the coordination must be occurs between these organ systems. Okay, not only between the organ systems, in our every activity, every work, we have to coordinate our organs also by our consciousness. So here I would like to say is coordination must be occurs in our body between organs and organ systems. Right, here I would like to say coordination is depend on mostly in two systems. They are, first one, nervous system, second one, hormone system. So these are two systems. So coordination is occurs in these two systems. Okay, if these two systems not working in our body properly, there is no work done properly within our body. So these two systems are mainly responsible for the coordination in our body. Right, let us discuss first system, nervous system. Okay, all you know, our nervous system is made up of nerves or neurons. First the scientist called Galen told us the nerves are mainly of two types. First one is sensory nerve, second one is motor nerve. So nerves are mainly of two types, sensory nerve and motor nerve. This is told by Galen, scientist called Galen. Clear? Who is that? Galen. He is a scientist told us that nerves are mainly of two types. First one is sensory nerve and second one is motor nerve. Clear? Next, we have to discuss about sometimes scientists mentioned in our textbook. First one, Stephen Hales and also Leonardo da Vinci. These are two scientists. They told us that our spinal cord is made up of number of neurons. This is not a solid structure, it is containing a number of neurons, and it is participating in every action with the help of nerves. So the spinal cord is the most important thing in our in our nervous system, which is mentioned by scientists called Stephen Hales and Leonardo da Vinci. Clear? Leonardo da Vinci and Stephen Hales. These are two scientists worked on spinal cord and told us that this is most important part in nervous system, and it is consist of a number of nerves, and it is playing a main role in every activity within our body, right. Next, we have to discuss about some definitions for the response and stimulus. Response and stimulus. Response and stimulus. Okay, let us talk about stimulus first. Stimulus are stimuli. Stimulus or stimuli are impulse. Okay, these three are same in the nature. It has two other names. Stimulus has two other names, stimuli and impulse. Stimuli and impulse. What is meaning of stimulus is the change in the atmosphere. The change in the atmosphere. Clear? For example, if I am standing here, if anybody touches me here or anywhere, immediately I feel that. Immediately I feel that. Okay, the touch is impulse, my feeling is a response. The touch is a impulse, my feeling is response. Here the touch is a change. The touch is a change in the atmosphere. The touch is a change in the atmosphere. If students are sitting in the classroom, if teacher comes in the classroom, immediately the students used to stand when they saw the teacher. So, coming of the teacher into the classroom is a stimulus. Standing of the students is called response. Here, coming of the teacher into the classroom is a stimulus. It is a change in the atmosphere. It is a change in the atmosphere. In this way, the changes in the atmosphere is called stimulus. Our actions towards the stimulus is called a response. Okay. So, stimulus is nothing but the change in the atmosphere. Stimulus is nothing but the change in the atmosphere. And the response is nothing but the actions towards the impulse. The actions towards the impulse is called response. For example, all you know, when we go outside from the room, if sunlight falls on our eyes or face, immediately we used to close our eyes like this. So, the sunlight is an impulse and closing of our eyes is a response. Like this, if any stimulus is there, there should be a response. Is it clear? Let us discuss about classification of nervous system right now. Classification of nervous system. Classification of nervous system. Nervous system is mainly of two types. Nervous system is mainly of two types. First one is central nervous system. Central nervous system. Second one is peripheral nervous system. Central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. Again, the central nervous system is classified into two types, that is brain and spinal cord. Brain and spinal cord. So, this is the classification of our nervous system. Nervous system is mainly of two types, central nervous system, peripheral nervous system. Again, central nervous system is classified into two types, and brain and spinal cord. Again, I would like to say the classification of the brain. The classification of the brain. Brain is again classified into three parts. First one is forebrain. Second one, midbrain. Third one, hindbrain. Third one, hindbrain. Again, forebrain is classified into three types or three parts. Olfactory lobes, and second one is cerebellum. Third one is diencephalon. Diencephalon. These are three parts in the forebrain. Okay, hindbrain also classified into two types again, that is cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. These are parts in the brain. Brain is classified into three parts: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Again, forebrain is classified into three parts: olfactory lobes, cerebrum and diencephalon. And cerebellum and medulla oblongata are parts of hindbrain. Here you have to see and you have to keen observe here. Diencephalon is again classified into two parts: thalamus and hypothalamus. Thalamus and hypothalamus. Thalamus and hypothalamus. You know, hypothalamus is belongs to hormone system. Hypothalamus is belongs to hormone system. In the hypothalamus part, we can see a gland called pituitary gland, which is most important gland in our body, which secretes hormones, and it is also called as master gland. It is also called as master gland. Okay, so master gland is located in the hypothalamus area. Hypothalamus is a part of diencephalon. Diencephalon is a part of forebrain. Is it clear? Right. Let us discuss about nerve cells. Why should we learn about nerve cell first? Because the entire central and peripheral nervous system, entire systems are made up of nerve cells only. If we talk about brain, there is nerve cells. If you talk about spinal cord, there is also nerves. So entire nervous system is made up of nerve cells. Okay. So everywhere in our nervous system we can find nerve cells. That is why let us discuss about nerve cell first. Okay. Nerve cell. I will draw here the structure of the nerve cell. This is a general structure of the nerve cell. General structure of the nerve cell. In the nerve cell, we can find three important parts. First one is cell body or cyton, and axon and dendrites. So in the nerve cell there is an important part. It is a wider part. This wider part is called cell body. It consists of prominent structure, nucleus. Okay. Nucleus. Okay. From the wider parts of the cell body, from the peripheral parts of the cell body, you can see some projections. These projections are called dendrites. And one projection of the cell body, somewhat longer than remaining dendrites. This longest dendrite is called axon. On the surface of the axon, there is some layer that is called as myelin sheath. This myelin sheath is white in color. That is why the axon of the nerve cell is always in the white in color. And some space or some gaps are there in the myelin sheath. These gaps are called nodes of Ranvier. These gaps are nodes of axon is called nodes of Ranvier. You know, these myelin sheath is made up of Schwann cells. What are they? Schwann cells. Schwann cells. Okay. For a better understanding, I am telling you important points regarding to the nerve cell. Okay. If I want to tell about the nerve cell elaborately, I need 3 or 4 hours. Okay. For your examination pattern, I am telling you only a few important parts about this one. Okay. Here cell body consists of a nucleus, and also cell body is a place for the promote projections called dendrites. One dendrite of the neuron is somewhat longer when compared with the other dendrite, that is called as axon. Axon is covered by myelin sheath. The myelin sheath is made up of Schwann cells. Clear? So, here it is a structure of nerve cell. It is a structure of nerve cell. You know, in our body 10 billions of nerve cells are there. 10 billions of nerve cells are there in our nervous system. You know that? And these nerve cells are always combined with one and each other. For example, if it is a nerve cell, it is combined with another nerve cell. And this another nerve cell is combined with one more nerve cell. So, if the nerve cell starts from here, it is combined with another one. It is also combined with another one. Like this way, each and every nerve cell is combined with surrounding nerve cells. Is it clear? Okay. Why it should be combined with others? For the transmission of the information. The nerve cell should be combined with the other ones. Why? Because if anybody touches me here, the information will goes to brain first. For the passage or transmission of the information, the nerve cells should be combined with one another. For example, a nerve cell is here. It should be combined with another one. Like this way, information is passing on or transmitting from one by one. So, while the information going on, some amount of power is generated between the two nerve cells. That must be in 0.05 millivolts. 0.05 millivolts power is generated when the information is going forward by nerve cell to nerve cell. Is it clear? Next, the connections between the two nerve cells are called synapse. What is that? Synapse. This is an active area. In between the two nerve cell. So, what is synapse? The reaction center for two nerve cells. And we can say it in another way, that is called the connection between two nerve cells. The connection between two nerve cells is called synapse. The connection between two nerve cells is also synapse. Okay, it is most important for one more question, but in your exam there is no one more question, but it is better to remain in our brain. Okay, so synapse is nothing but connection between two nerve cells. Clear? And now we have to discuss about central nervous system parts. First one, brain. What is that? Brain. So, all you know, our nervous system is made up of nerve cells only nerve cells in the spinal cord and in the brain. Everywhere we can find nerve cells. You know, central nervous system is mainly of two types, brain and spinal cord. Let us discuss about brain first. Brain. Proportionate to our body weight, our brain is very large in the size when compared with any animal. And also it is very matured. So, human body brain is very large in the size and also it is very mature when compared with any other organism, right? And you know, the brain is protected by a bony like structure called cranium. What is that? Cranium. Cranium. So cranium is nothing but a bony like structure. In this, usually the brain is protected. The brain is protected. And let us discuss about the internal part of the brain. The internal part of the brain. You know, this is a place for the brain. This is place for the brain. When we are talking about the brain is covered by three membranes. The brain is covered by three membranes. The brain is covered by three membranes. These three membranes are called meninges. Meninges. The three membranes are called as meninges. In between three layers, there is a fluid fulfilled that is called as cerebral fluid. Cerebral fluid. Cerebral fluid, which protects the brain from the shocks and the jerks coming from outside. Okay, it is protecting the brain from the shocks and jerks which is coming from outside. Clear? And you know, the main part of the nervous system is cerebrum. What is that? Cerebrum. What is that? Cerebrum. And this cerebrum is a part of forebrain. This is a part of forebrain. So let us discuss about a forebrain. Let us discuss about forebrain. Forebrain. It is consist of three important parts again. You know that. If it is brain, if we say like this, okay, it consists of three important parts. First one is olfactory lobes. Here or anywhere it is located, and this is all called as cerebrum. This is all called as cerebrum. This is also called as cerebrum. In the inside of the cerebrum, we can see diencephalon. Diencephalon. So cerebrum, this is all called as cerebrum, and inner part we can see diencephalon. And also olfactory lobes are also there in the diencephalon and cerebrum areas. These are three important parts in forebrain. You know, the cerebrum is classified into four lobes again. Four lobes. It is classified into four lobes, and also the entire cerebrum is divided into two equal halves, and each half is called as hemisphere. So each part is called as hemisphere. Cerebral hemisphere. So here cerebrum is classified into two equal halves. Each half is called as hemisphere. Right? Okay. Let us discuss what is happening in the forebrain. You know, these olfactory lobes are responsible for smell, sense of smell. Olfactory lobes are present in forebrain. They are responsible for the smell. And cerebrum. This is a very, very important part in the forebrain, and it is responsible for the memory, reasoning, and thinking, and problem solving, and etc. So many works are done here. And for example, we are telling that memory and thinking and reasoning and problem solving, and these things are happening in the cerebrum part. Okay, and let us discuss about diencephalon. You know, diencephalon is again classified into thalamus and hypothalamus. Hypothalamus belongs to hormone system, right? Here thalamus is only belongs to nervous system. Clear? Right. So here in the diencephalon, it is responsible for the pain, temperature, and water balance, and hunger, and anger and sleep. So these all are happens due to the diencephalon. This is a reaction center for the sleep, anger, hunger, water balance, pain and temperature. So these all things are under diencephalon. And let us discuss about midbrain. Let us discuss about midbrain. If it is brain, the outer part is called It is called forebrain. The inner part is called midbrain. The inner part is called midbrain. Okay. If we talk about the midbrain, we have to discuss about one thing: sight and hearing. It is responsible for the sight and the hearing. If we are able to see one thing, that is cause midbrain, and we are hearing something due to cause of midbrain. So this is a reaction center for the hear. This is reaction center for the hearing, and also sight. So sight and hearing are happening due to midbrain. Sight and hearing are due to midbrain. And also third one, hindbrain. Third one is hindbrain. In the hindbrain we can see two important parts, cerebellum, and second one is medulla oblongata. Okay. So here cerebellum is very important part in our nervous system again. Why? Because it is responsible for the two important things, that is called posture and equilibrium. Posture and equilibrium held in cerebrum. Posture means our body should have posture like this. If we bend like this, some bad will be happen to our body. Why? Because our spinal cord will appear like this after sometimes or some days. Okay, that is why I have to be like this. If our posture is good, our health also will be good and one, right? And equilibrium also done with the help of the cerebellum, right? And also it is doing voluntary actions promoted by cerebrum. If any voluntary action promoted by the cerebrum, that will be follows by the cerebellum. So all voluntary actions, motor actions will be done which is initiated by the cerebrum. Okay. So here cerebellum is doing voluntary actions which are sent by the cerebrum. So here it is doing three things. It gives us posture and also equilibrium, and also third one, it is doing voluntary actions initiated by the cerebrum. So here three things are doing by cerebellum. And last one, medulla oblongata. You know, medulla oblongata is also a very important part in the nervous system. It is very important actually. So it is responsible for the cardiac and vasomotor and respiratory actions. So all our respiration and cardiac function and vasomotor function is nothing but blood vessels. So blood vessels movement and also cardiac, heart movement, heart functioning, and also respiratory system, all these three things works under medulla oblongata. So it is regulating heart function, vasomotor function and respiratory function also, and also it is participating in some actions called swallowing and sneezing and coughing and coughing and vomiting and vomiting. So these type of all functions are held with the help of the medulla oblongata. So medulla oblongata is responsible for cardiac functions, vasomotor functions, respiratory functions, and swallowing, sneezing, coughing, vomiting. These all functions are worked under the medulla oblongata. This is only about brain. This is only about brain. Let us discuss about the spinal cord. As you know, spinal cord is not only a solid structure. It is containing number of neurons, number of nerve cells. So these nerve cells are responsible for the transmitting of messages from organs to brain, brain to organs, from the detector to effector. You know what is detector and what is effector? Let us discuss about that. Let us discuss about detector and effector. Okay. Let us discuss about that. Detector and sensory nerves and brain are spinal cord and motor nerve, then effector organ. So here we can see five important parts. You know, in our body, each and every cell which appears outside works as detector. You know, with each cell our nervous system is connected with nerve cells. For example, if anybody touches me here, the cells around this place will receive the information, will receive the stimulus, and these receiving cells, these information or stimulus receiving cells are called as detectors. These detectors will receive the information and transmit to the sensory nerves. Where it is transmitting the information? To the sensory nerves. Again, this sensory nerve is transmitting the information to the brain or spinal cord. Sometimes spinal cord also analyze the information and gives the response. Usually the information should reach the brain, then the brain will analyze the information, analyze the stimulus, and it is used to release the response. But sometimes spinal cord also participating in the giving responses. Okay, so the sensory nerve main function is to give or transmit the information to the brain or spinal cord. When these brain or spinal cords receive the information, they use it to analyze the information, analyze the stimulus, and then they release the response. So these responses will transmit with the help of the motor nerves, This motor nerve will give the information to the effector nerve. The motor nerve is giving the information to the effector nerve, but this information is a response. These responses are usually released by brain or spinal cord. So this response is carry forwarding with the help of the motor nerve. This motor nerve is carrying the response to the effector nerve. Then this effector nerve works. For example, if anybody touches here, immediately the information is detected by the detector and send the information to the sensory nerve to the brain or spinal cord. Then spinal cord and brain are giving the response. This response is carried forward with the help of the motor nerve. This motor nerve is passing the response to the effector nerve. If the information comes to the hand, like we have to drag your hand back, then the hand will be dragged like this. We will pass our hand like this. Okay, so here passing of my hand or moving of my hand is only happen with the help of five factors. First factor is detector. okay, it is detected the information, okay, and it is passing the information to the sensory nerve. Sensory nerve carry the information to the brain, and brain carry the response to the motor nerve, and then motor nerve is carrying the response from the brain and spinal cord to the effector nerve. Okay, here we are seeing five factors. This entire diagram is the pathway. This entire pathway is called reflex arc. So reflex arc is nothing but a signal pathway of the information. Signal pathway of the information is called reflex arc. In the reflex arc, we can see five factors: detector, sensory nerve, brain, and motor nerve, and effector. Okay, these are cells usually seen in reflex arc. Here you have to know sensory nerve and motor nerve. The main purpose of the sensory nerve, the main function of the sensory nerve is to gather information from the detector and carry information to the brain or spinal cord. So it is only carrying the stimulus only. So the sensory nerve only appears outside of our body, right? So here the motor nerve is receiving the response from the brain or spinal cord. So it is comes under inward parts of our body. It not appearing outside. The appearing outside part is called sensory nerve. Okay, motor nerve is always inside. Okay, it will works in our body. Okay, it will works in our body only. It not appears outside. Clear? So the main function of the sensory nerve is to carry the impulse to the brain, and the main function of the motor nerve is to carry the response to the effector organ. So entire this pathway is called as reflex arc. How many parts are there in a reflex arc? 5 parts: detector and sensory nerve, brain or spinal cord, and motor nerve, and effector organ. This is called reflex arc. So by this one you have to understand one thing. So nerve cells are mainly of 3 types. Among these 3 we already discussed about sensory nerve and then motor nerve, and third one also there, that is called associate nerve. What is that? Associate nerve. These associate nerves are generally appeared in the spinal cord. Okay, so here we are discussing about types of neurons, types of nerve cells. First one is sensory nerve. It takes the information from the detector and carry it to the brain. And motor nerve, it takes or receives the response from the brain and it sends the response to the effector organ. And third one is called associate nerve. It only appears in spinal cord. You know, sometimes information may not go to our brain. The information reaches up to spinal cord only. When the information reaches the spinal cord, the nerve cells called associate nerves are analyzing the information, and immediately they are releasing responses from them. Okay, so here the information is not going to the brain. Here it is not going to the brain. Why? Because associate nerves in the spinal cord are analyzing and responding and also giving responses. Then the motor nerves are carry forward the response to the effector organ. Okay, so why it is happening like this? In some situations, in very dangerous situation, this type of actions are generally held. For example, if I am putting my leg like this on the sharp object, if the sharp object touches my feet, I used to drag my leg backside like this. Why? Because immediately the associate nerves in my spinal cord are analyzing the sharp object is there, and also you have to drag your leg back. So, in this way it is giving me some instructions. If the information goes to brain, it may take more time when compared with the associated nerves response. Okay, that is why from some dangerous situations it is escaping us. Okay, it is escaping us from some dangerous situations. Okay, so spinal cord is also having some nerves, they are called as associate nerves. Associate nerves only appear in spinal cord. They are participating in some autonomous actions, which means the information may not be go to the spinal cord, may not go to the brain. Okay, some information comes to the spinal cord and associate nerves will analyze and gives a response. The response will goes with the help of the motor nerve to the effector organ. Clear? Okay, so here we discuss about nerve cells. Okay, nerve cells mainly are of three types. First one is sensory nerve, second one is motor nerve, third one is associate nerves. Clear? Okay, let us discuss about a peripheral nervous system. Let us discuss about peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is nothing but autonomous nervous system. Peripheral nervous system is nothing but autonomous nervous system. Autonomous nervous system. Autonomous nervous system. So, autonomous nervous system is involving in involuntary actions. Involuntary actions means they are happening without our involvement. For example, heartbeat. Here we are not involving in the beating of heart, but it is doing its function, and also circulation of the blood. Okay, dilation of our people, and also excretion, digestion. So, what functions are happening in our body are also called as involuntary functions. These all involuntary functions are held with the help of the autonomous nervous system. You know, autonomous nervous system again classified into two types: sympathetic and parasympathetic. Sympathetic and parasympathetic. So, these are two types of autonomous nervous system: sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. These are main types of autonomous nervous system. Simply have to remember one thing: autonomous nervous system is involving in the involuntary actions. Involuntary actions are nothing but they are happening without our involvement. They are only happening their function, they are doing their function with their consciousness, without our consciousness. Is it clear? Okay, let us discuss about coordination in our body without nerves. Coordination in our body without nerves. Coordination in our body without nerves. Already I told you that coordination in our body is occurring with the help of two systems. First one is nervous system. Second one is hormone system. What is that? Hormone system. Second one is hormone system. Right, let us discuss one by one. In our body we have 7 glands. These glands are called endocrine glands. Endocrine glands, which means they doesn't have any tiles. They are directly attached to the body parts. They are directly attached to the body parts in our body. Okay, that is why they are called as endocrine glands. You know, these endocrine glands secretions are called hormones. These endocrine gland secretions are called hormones. So, hormones are chemical materials. These chemical materials are releasing from the endocrine glands. Okay, these chemical materials are releasing from the endocrine glands. Okay, so here hormones are releasing into blood only. They are releasing into blood only. Okay, when the hormone releasing into the blood, it will transport entire the body with the help of the blood. It will transport entire body with the help of the blood. Okay, so you have to remember one thing, hormones directly combining with the blood. Okay, hormones are released by endocrine glands. Hormones are released by endocrine glands. It should be remember. Okay, it should be very important. And also we have to discuss about what glands are called as endocrine glands in our body. Let us discuss one by one. Pituitary gland, and thyroid gland. Next, adrenal gland. Then pancreas, testis, ovary, and parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland. Here we have 7 endocrine glands. 7 endocrine glands: pituitary gland, parathyroid gland, and thyroid gland, adrenal gland, pancreas, testis, and ovary. Let us discuss one by one. You know, pituitary gland is a part of hypothalamus. Hypothalamus is a part of diencephalon. Diencephalon is a part of forebrain. So it is appearing in the nervous system. It is in the size of pea seed. And it is also called as master gland of all glands. It is also called as master gland of all glands. Okay, and it is releasing a number of hormones. Let us discuss one by one. First one is somatotropic hormone or somatotropic hormone, gonotropic hormone, TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, and LH, luteinizing hormone. And FSH, follicle stimulating hormone, and vasopressin. So these are hormones releasing by the pituitary gland. Somatotropic hormone is responsible for the general growth. It is also called as somatotropic hormone is also called as growth hormone. If it is released in the sufficient amount, then the growth is good in the human body. If it is not releasing the sufficient amount, the growth is not good. Okay, then a dwarfism may be occurs. Okay, and gonotropic hormone. It is a hormone worked on testis in the male and ovary in female. It motivates testis and ovary for their functions. And third one is TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. You know, thyroid gland is there, it is also endocrine gland, but this TSH is released by the pituitary gland, and this thyroid stimulating hormone is stimulate the thyroid gland for its activities, it functions. So the main purpose of the TSH is to motivate the thyroid gland for their functions. Okay, so this is coming from the pituitary gland. All you know that this pituitary gland is releasing various hormones. These hormones are working on other endocrine glands, that is why it is called as master gland. It is called as master gland. It influences all the glands in the hormone system, right? And ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, this hormone is releasing by the pituitary gland but acts on adrenal gland, so it motivates the adrenal gland for its functions, and then we have to discuss about LH, luteinizing hormone. So luteinizing hormone is responsible for the releasing of testosterone hormone in males. And also this luteinizing hormone is responsible for the releasing of ovulation, that means ovulation, it means ovulation. And also it promotes the releasing of progesterone hormone. So here it is doing three important functions. In males it promotes the testosterone hormone, okay, and in females it is promoting the ovulation and also releasing the progesterone hormone. Let us discuss about FSH, follicle stimulating hormone. The name is indicating that it is helping in the development of follicles, follicle stimulating hormone, and also it is helping in releasing of oxytocin hormone, and also with the it is also promotes the hormone called estrogen hormone in female. Okay, in boys or male, spare. These are main important hormones released by the pituitary gland. And also one important thing is there, vasopressin, which is also released by the pituitary gland. It participates in reducing the water in urine, You know, in some people, the people are used to go for urination a number of times, 4 times or 5 times or 6 times. So repeated urination occurs in some people because they are suffering with the deficiency of the vasopressin hormone. If the vasopressin hormone is not released by the pituitary gland, then urine is comes continuously regularly, and there is no gaps in the urination. So repeated urination maybe occurs when the vasopressin is low in the people. Okay, so this is responsible for the reducing the water in the urine, it reabsorbs the water in the urine. Okay, for example, it is deficiency. If this deficiency occurs in the male, then he suffered with diabetes insipidus. So diabetes insipidus is a disease caused when the levels of the vasopressin decreased in the human body. Okay, if the vasopressin is not released in the proper amount, then the person will suffer with the diabetes insipidus. That means repeated urination may be occurs within him. Okay, next let us discuss about parathyroid gland. Let us discuss parathyroid gland. So parathyroid gland is located at our neck. Okay, our neck. It is located at our neck. It releases parathormone. Parathormone hormone. This is a hormone released by the parathyroid gland. It is responsible for the synthesis of calcium and magnesium, calcium and phosphorus. Calcium and phosphorus. Calcium and phosphorus are usually synthesized by the help of parathormone. It is released by the parathyroid gland. Parathyroid gland. If the parathormone hormone is high in the body, then some disease may occur. That is called tetany. That is called as tetany. Tetany. It is called as tetany. Tetany is a disease when the parathormone hormone is high in the body, right? Let us discuss about the thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is a place for the general growth of the body. So general growth is works under the thyroid gland, and along with the somatotropic hormone. Somatotropic hormone is released by a gland called pituitary gland. Okay, so somatotropic hormone and thyroid gland, these two are coordinate each other for the giving growth to the body. Okay, for the giving growth to the body. So thyroid gland is also responsible for the general growth. About adrenal gland. You know, adrenal gland is releasing adrenaline hormone. This adrenal hormone is generally released situations. For example, if anybody beats me, then immediately I feel pain. Immediately I will cry. If anybody made a mistake in front of me, I will be anger within minutes, within seconds. So these emotions occurs due to the adrenaline hormone. So adrenaline hormone is a hormone for the emotions. Okay, here it is also called as fight or flight hormone or flight hormone. Fight or flight in a particular situation. Fight or flight in a particular situation. Clear? And then it is also called as feedback mechanism hormone. It is also feedback mechanism hormone. So here we are discussing three important parts about adrenaline hormone. First one is, it is fight or flight hormone, and also it is hormone for the emotions, and also it is a feedback mechanism hormone. So feedback is occurs due to the adrenaline hormone. Feedback is mainly occurs due to the feedback mechanism, mainly occurs due to adrenaline hormone. Clear? Let us discuss about pancreas. So pancreas is a mixed gland. Pancreas is a mixed gland. Why it is considering into mixed gland? Because it is participating in the digestive system as it is releasing enzymes, and also it is releasing hormones. That is why it is connected with both the digestive system and hormone system. So two type of secretions it is doing. It is participating in the secreting two type of chemical materials. One is enzyme, another one is hormone. That is why it is called as mixed gland. By means it is releasing enzymes and hormones. That is why the pancreas is called mixed gland. The pancreas is having some cells called islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. Islets of Langerhans. So these are cells in the pancreas. These are cells in the pancreas. These cells usually releases a hormone called insulin. And also one more hormone is also released by that is called glucagon. So these two hormones generally released by the pancreas. The pancreas cells are called islets of Langerhans, and pancreas is also called as a mixed gland. Mixed gland is releasing two type of hormones, insulin and glucagon. Let us discuss about insulin. So you know, insulin is very important chemical, very important hormone to our body. If the insulin is not sufficient in our body, then glucose in our body will comes with our urine. So it is very dangerous to our health. That is why the glucose which is in our blood must be stored in somewhere. Okay. So insulin is taking responsibility for the storing of glucose in our body. Okay. Where it is storing the material is the insulin is storing the glucose to convert or by convert. Time note share ఒకసారి. Okay, here the insulin is converts the glucose into glycogen. Insulin is converting the glucose into glycogen and stores in liver. When we are in fasting, when our body needs energy, then the liver will lose its glycogen into glucose. It loses its glycogen into glucose. Okay, so let us discuss about glucagon. Glucagon is a hormone to convert the glycogen into glucose. For example, when we are doing fasting, we need some energy. As we are not taking entire the day, that is why we need some energy. This energy is coming from the liver. Already you know that liver is containing some food as in the form of glycogen. So here the glucagon hormone will release from the pancreas and it converts the glycogen into the glucose. Then we will get some energy from the glucose. So in this way, the conversion of glucose into glycogen due to the cause of insulin, and conversion of the glycogen into the glucose is called because of glucagon. The conversion of the glycogen into glucose due to the cause of glucagon hormone. So these two are released by the pancreas. You know, in some people the insulin hormone is releasing in a little amount, then they face some disease called diabetes mellitus. In this disease, they will lose entire glucose molecules from their body through the urine. Okay, so it may lead some harmful health problems. Okay, that is why the doctor usually suggests them to inject some injections just like insulin. So insulin is a hormone is generally injected into the body who are suffering with diabetes mellitus. This is only option for the diabetes patients. So in this diabetes patients, they are losing their glucose through the urine. So for the stoppage of the losing of the glucose, we are giving them insulin injection. So here insulin and glucagon are hormones released by the pancreas. Okay, insulin is responsible for the conversion of glucose into glycogen, and glucagon is responsible for the conversion of glycogen into glucose. So when do diabetes mellitus occurs? And the person is suffering with a decrease of amount of insulin, then they face diabetes mellitus. When the amount of the insulin is reduced in the body, then they face diabetes mellitus disease. Okay, let us discuss about testis. Let us discuss about testis. You know, testis only appears in the male. It is locates in the scrotal sac. It is locates in the scrotal sac. This testis is releasing testosterone hormone. Testosterone hormone. Testosterone hormone is released by testis. The testosterone hormone is promotes the primary and secondary sexual characters in the male. Primary characters means spermatogenesis, and it is also promotes the secondary sexual characters, growing of beard and mustache in the face and the armpits, and also it promotes the development of our muscles and a change of the voice. Okay, in this way it is promoting some changes in our body, like change in the voice, development of muscles, and growing hairs on our face and armpits. Okay, like this it is promoting some functions in the male. Okay, the hormone released by the testis is called testosterone. Okay, it is promoting primary and secondary sexual characters, all you know that. And also ovary locates in only females. Okay, ovary locates in only female. This ovary is responsible for the overall growth of the female reproductive system, which means development of the uterus, controlling the entire menstrual cycle, and development muscles at the pelvis region. This pelvis means this area. So development of the pelvis region and development of the skeletal regions, skeleton parts, and also it participates in the menstrual cycle. It promotes the menstrual cycle, and also it participates in entire female reproductive system development. It also participates in the development of uterus. So these are important functions of ovary. Generally, ovary is releasing two hormones called. First one is estrogen. Second one is progesterone. Estrogen and progesterone, these are two hormones released by the ovary. Generally these two together works on reproductive system. Okay, right. Let us discuss about note cheyanడి. Let us discuss control and coordination happens in the plants. I mean control in plants. You know, plants also releasing some hormone like structures, hormone like materials from them. So they are also called as hormones. They are called as plant hormones. Plants also release plant hormones. So these are chemical materials releasing by the plants. Let us discuss one by one. Auxins, gibberellins, and cytokinins, and ethylene, abscisic acid, these are hormones generally appeared in plants. So let us discuss one by one. Okay, auxins, these are hormones released by the plants, you know that, and these are responsible for the promotion of elongation of cells. It participates in elongation of cell, and also it participates in differentiation, shoot and root. shoot and root. It participates in elongation of cells and differentiation in shoot and root. Differentiation, shoot and root. Differentiation, shoot and root. And gibberellins. Gibberellins are very important hormones released by the plants. They are promoting overall growth in the plant. They are promoting overall growth in the plants, like development of fruit, development of stem, development of leaf. So in this way it is promoting entire growth of the plant, and also it promotes germination of seeds. That means breakdown of dormancy. And another thing, cytokinins. It is promoting cell division. It promotes cell division. And also these are responsible for the opening of stomata. And ethylene is a hormone useful for the ripening of fruits. So ethylene is a hormone. It is useful for ripening of fruits. And abscisic acid, which promotes closing of stomata. And seed dormancy. Very important things. These are very important things. So from this chart we can expect questions from these two. First one is cytokinins, second one is abscisic acid, and third one is axins. 1, 2, 3. You can expect questions from these three. Cytokinins, it is promoting cell division, opening of stomata. And abscisic acid, it promotes the closing of stomata. That is responsible for opening of stomata, it is responsible for closing of stomata. And also it promotes seed dormancy. Okay, but here gibberellins are responsible for breakdown of dormancy. Let us discuss third one about auxins. It promotes the elongation of cells. And also differentiation of shoots and roots held in the auxins. So these are very important which we discussed in the chart. Okay, and auxins are discovered by F.W. Went. Who discovered auxins? F.W. Went. Okay, in this chart we have to discuss one particular thing, that is auxins. Auxins are very important hormones in the plants, which not only promotes the elongation of cell and differentiate the shoots and root, it also participates in tropisms. So let us discuss what are tropisms. Tropism is nothing but movement of growth. Growth is called as tropism. Plants generally showing some tropisms. Let us discuss about phototropism and chemotropism and hydrotropism geotropism and thigmotropism These are tropisms. You can see these tropisms in plants. Okay, these all tropisms are happening due to the cause of auxins. Auxins are responsible for these all tropisms. These all tropisms. Let us discuss what is tropism. Tropism is nothing but growth of the plant towards a particular material. Towards the particular material. For the plant to grow towards the light. Towards the light. Then the plant will grow towards the light. For example, if we put a potted plant in the dark room, if you put a potted plant in the dark room, the plant will grow towards the light. The plant will grow towards the light. Okay, that is why if the plant grows towards the light, that is called as phototropism. Phototropism. So, growth of the plant towards the photo light means phototropism. Phototropism. This phototropism is due to cause of auxins. And second one is chemotropism. Growth of the plant towards the chemical. Towards the chemical is called chemotropism. Growth of the plants towards the chemical is called chemotropism, which is also due to auxins. And also hydrotropism. Growth of the plant towards the water. Hydrotropism. And geotropism. You know, the plant is growing towards upward direction. In the same way, roots also grow inside towards the geotropism. That means the plant is growing in the direction of upward direction. The plant is growing towards the upward direction. In the same way, roots also grow inside of the soil. So, okay. So, growth of the roots due to the cause of geotropism. Due to the cause of geotropism. So, this geotropism is cause of auxins. So, okay. So, auxins are promoting geotropism. Geotropism is nothing but growth of the roots towards the gravitational force. Towards the gravitational force. Growth of the roots towards the gravitational force is called geotropism. Okay. Growth of the roots towards the gravitational force is called geotropism. Okay. Next, fifth one, thigmotropism. Thigmotropism. Thigmo means nothing but a base or support. A base or support. You know, tendrils, cucumber and betel gourd. These are tendrils. If they have any support, they will grow with the help of that support. Okay. So, if the plant grows towards the support, that is called thigmotropism. That is called thigmotropism. And one more important bit from this lesson is Mimosa pudica. Mimosa pudica or touch me not. Touch me not. Touch me not plant, Mimosa pudica or touch me not plant, showing what type of tropism, that is called thigmotropism. So, here Mimosa pudica, when you touches that plant, it will immediately folds, it branches like this. Okay, this movement is nothing but thigmotropism, thigmonasty. What is that? Thigmonasty. Where we can find the thigmonasty? Mimosa pudica is showing thigmonasty. Okay, it's very big, important bit. Thigmonasty is showing by Mimosa pudica, which is also happening with the help of auxins. So, auxins are very important hormones in the plants, which promotes not only elongation of the cell and differentiation of shoot and root, it also participates in phototropism, chemotropism, hydrotropism and geotropism and thigmotropism. Okay. Thank you very much.